Okay, hello everybody. This is Kyle, your instructor for English 120. In this video, I'm going to be trying to explain how to use the SurveyMonkey survey software. This is a little bit too complicated for me to try to explain simply with PowerPoint slides alone, so I'm going to try to explain it in the video tutorial here. This is the first time I'm attempting to do this, so please bear with me. But the first thing we need to do is just go to surveymonkey.com. So you'll enter that in your URL. I'm hoping that by making this video, this will enable you to kind of go back and check, and if you at any point become confused, you can go back and look again at what I explained how to do. So we're going to be at the SurveyMonkey website here. And if it's your first time, if you don't already have an account, you are going to click on Sign Up Free. And then you will input all of your information here. You do have to enter an email. I didn't get a lot of junk mail or anything, and I believe that you can unsubscribe from any emails that SurveyMonkey might send you. So go ahead and provide an email. I already have an account, so instead I'm going to go ahead and click Sign In. And I will just log in with my information. Oops, got my password wrong, of course. Let's try it again. Okay, so we have the example page here. Your page is going to look a little bit different when you log in for the very first time. You're going to see something that looks like this. It's going to sort of ask you some questions to sort of try to help you set up your first survey. But since I'm going to walk you through it, you really don't need that. So you're just going to scroll down where I'm pointing my cursor here to where it says Skip to SurveyMonkey Home. So you're going to go ahead and click that, and that will take you to the home page, which again, it might look a little different the first time you log into it, but you should regardless have this button here, Create Survey, in the upper right corner. So go ahead and click that, and that will take you to the next screen where you have to give your survey a title. You can just put Practice Survey or whatever. You can assign it to a category, although that doesn't really matter either. So I'll put Education and then click Let's Go. And now we are finally at the screen where we can actually design our survey. So as I mentioned in the PowerPoint slides, I'm only going to go over 3 specific question types. Multiple choice, and we're going to have several particular types of multiple choice questions, ranking questions, and open-ended questions. So you can feel free to experiment with other question types, but those are the only 3 that I'm going to cover today. So first, we're going to go over to our question builder on the left side of the screen here, and we're going to add a multiple choice question. Now again, since I've logged into SurveyMonkey before and already turned this option off, suggested questions are not going to appear. You can see where I'm pointing now. It says Show Suggested Questions. That might be turned on. You want to turn that off. You want to write all of your own original questions for your survey rather than using a suggested question from SurveyMonkey. So you have the builder here. Keep in mind that as I'm showing you here, I'm not exactly demonstrating how to write good survey questions, but rather simply how to use the website. So I'm really just going to say the first questions that come into my mind simply for the purpose of showing you how to use the software. If you want to review how to write good survey questions, please refer back again to the PowerPoint and to the sample internet article that I linked to in the PowerPoint slides. So our multiple choice question, just for the sake of it, is going to be, what is your favorite leisure time activity? And then you see you type in the answer choices here. I'm just going to put going out to eat, relaxing at home, going shopping. If we want to add additional answer choices, you click on the green plus. Hiking, it's a good Gallup area one. And then, remember that as we said in the PowerPoint, when you're doing multiple choice, you want to give an option for other generally. So if the pre-provided answer choices don't cover what your participant wants to say, they can add their own answer choice. So actually, I did that wrong. I'm going to click the red X to take that fifth answer choice away. And then down here where it says add an other option, answer option, or comment field, click that. Other, please specify. And you want to display it as an answer choice, I believe. So let's click Save. Yes, and here is our survey question. Okay, let's try a couple more. So I'm going to talk about a couple other types of multiple choice that you can use. So once again, we're going to add a multiple choice, and this time we're going to do an agreement scale. So let's think here. UNM Gallup provides a high quality education at an affordable price. Okay. Another important thing is that you always provide clear directions. So I'm going to go back to the beginning here and add directions. Read the following statement and choose the most appropriate response. I think that is the standard agreement scale directions. So we're going to highlight that and italicize it so it's clear that those are the directions rather than the question itself. Okay, so now we're going to provide the answer choices: strongly agree, agree, neutral. Think about whether or not you want to give your participants the option of answering neutral. That can sort of be tempting to people to just start clicking neutral. So you might want to only force them to agree or disagree. But anyway, here is our range of answer choices, and that is pretty straightforward. So we'll save that one. And let's do one more type of multiple choice, which is the rating scale rather than the agreement scale. So we'll make one more question. Again, click Add under multiple choice. And this time we'll ask, how satisfied are you with the quality of the food served at the new restaurant in Gurley Hall? I have not been there myself, so I don't know how good it is. So again, this time it's a rating scale. So we are going to say highly satisfied, satisfied. Again, consider whether or not you want to provide for neutral. Add a couple more answer choices by clicking on the green pluses. Dissatisfied and highly dissatisfied. Okay, so those are the three basic types of multiple choice questions. Let's save that one. So now what we're going to do now is take a look at a few things we can do once we've established the questions. So we are going to go highlight the question and click Edit. So there's a few different things that we can consider here. First of all, do we want participants to be able to select more than one answer? This would be appropriate for some questions, but not others, right? Here I'm asking for a single favorite, so perhaps we don't want to do it, but I'll show you how to do it just so you know, depending on the questions that you are writing. You'll click here where it says allow more than one answer to this question. So if the person likes both relaxing at home and going shopping, they could click 2 answers. If you leave it unchecked, they will be forced to select just one answer. Okay? If you click options here, you can decide whether or not you want to require people to answer the question. So if they try to skip it and they don't provide any answer, the website will stop them and say this question requires a response. This is, again, a kind of a judgment call. If you require answers, it's a way to guarantee that you will get data. But on the other hand, if people find that they can't skip questions, they might get fed up and decide to just stop taking your survey, which would be a problem, of course. So I'm not going to require a response there. Okay, so we have our 3 multiple choice questions. The next thing to do is to add a ranking question. So as I said in the PowerPoint, ranking questions allow you to establish the importance of particular factors relative to each other. So question number 4 is going to be, when choosing a restaurant, which factors are most important? And again, we want to provide clear instructions, so we're going to say rank the following options from most important to least important. Okay, so we will say price, quality of service, quality of food, atmosphere, distance from where you live. It is a good idea to go with an other option in this case as well. However, with SurveyMonkey, I cannot figure out how to allow people to enter their own text in a ranking question. So if anybody's able to figure that out and wants to clue us in, then that would be nice. You can also add a non-applicable or NA column, but I don't think that that applies here. So let's go back and clarify. We have 6 options, so clarify our instructions. Rank the following options from most important 1 to least important 6. Save it. And now we have our ranking question. The last question type that I'm going to show you how to add is the comment box, which is an open-ended question. So as I said in the PowerPoint, you don't want to ask too many open-ended questions in your survey because they're far more time-consuming to answer. And if you ask participants to answer a lot of open-ended questions, that's something that tends to discourage people from finishing because they begin to perceive that your survey is taking too much time. So I would recommend that you add 1 or 2 open-ended questions. And the benefit of open-ended questions is that you can get precise information about people's unique perspectives or experiences. So it's good to ask about those sort of things. So an example open-ended question would be, who is a person that is inspirational? I forgot how to spell. Who is a person that is inspirational to you, and what specific lessons or values have you learned from her or him? Okay, and it's automatically going to provide a comment box where the person can type a response. So once again, if you go into edit, you can decide whether or not you are going to require an answer to this question. A couple of other things you can do in the edit menu is move questions. So let's just say you decide you want this open question to be the first one for some reason. You click on before number 1 or before number 2, 3, 4. Click move question, and that will change the sequence of the questions. So let's take a look at what we have so far by clicking on preview and test in the upper corner here. So this will launch a new window. The first time you do this, there might be a pop-up window that clarifies that anything you type in here is not going to be calculated as a response to the survey. So you can just close that out, and then you can get a look at when you send people your survey via a web link, this is what your survey is going to look at it. So proofread it, try to avoid any spelling mistakes. You want to give the impression of being very professional and so on. And it shows you what it looks like here when you rank the different options. So when you're done previewing, click Done and return to Survey Editor. Okay, so there is one more thing that I need to show you, and that is adding a consent form. So as I said, you need to get participants' consent to participate in a survey, as well as an interview. So for a consent form, what we're going to do is add a multiple choice question and go to just one answer choice. It's up to you whether or not you want to ask the participant's name. That might sort of enhance the validity of your survey, but at the same time, people might be a little skittish or hesitant to provide their name depending on what you are asking about. So as long as you have your data and can refer me to your SurveyMonkey data, I won't necessarily need to know your participants' names. So that's up to you. But remember, I posted that sample consent form text. I sent that to you by email, actually, so you can have a look at that online and sort of copy that text in here. You want to write something like, you are invited to participate in a survey about your experiences at UNM Gallup, or whatever the case may be. You want to tell the participant approximately how long the survey is going to take to complete. It's okay to err on the low side to encourage people to complete it, but don't be totally inaccurate. So I will say the survey will take approximately 5 minutes to complete. Tell them how their data is going to be used. So information you provide will be used as data for a class project at UNM Gallup, but your name will not be included in order to protect your privacy. That's another thing we need to do as researchers, is explain to participants how we are going to protect their privacy. Then lastly, if you agree to participate, please check the box below. If you do not wish to participate, please close the survey window now. Okay, so you're going to have a single answer choice, which is I agree to participate. This time you do want to force a response, require an answer to this question, so the person needs to click that box in order to move forward with the survey. Save that. Now that we have that question, I'm going to suggest that you move it, or really require that you move it to the beginning of the survey. So we're going to move it before number 1. And then the last thing I'm going to recommend is putting the consent form on a separate page. So you want to have that on a page all by itself before they get to the survey itself. So you're going to scroll down the builder to where you get page break, and you're actually going to click and drag it where you want to have a separate page. So now we'll put a page break between questions number 1 and 2. And you can add several additional page breaks. This is sort of a good thing to do, because if a person logs into your survey and they see a bunch of questions on the same page, they might get the impression that it's going to be too time intensive. Whereas if you put only 2 or 3 questions, or maybe up to 4 questions per page, that will encourage them to finish. So let's take a look at preview and test one last time. So here we have our consent form. You'll notice that if I try to move to the next screen without clicking I agree to participate, it stops me. So I'm required to do that, and now I can take the remainder of the survey. The last things that I want to mention are the free version of SurveyMonkey is only going to allow you to include 10 questions, and your consent form counts as a question. So you're going to have 9 additional questions. Really think about how to make the most of those questions and get the best data that you possibly can. Okay? So I lied. There's one more thing I actually need to show you. Is once you have played around with the website and you are ready to send your survey out to get some responses, you're going to go on the Builder page to the tab that says Collect Responses. The next page is going to give you several options. You can do something where you input individual email addresses and send it to specific people, and that will allow you to monitor who has responded and who has not. That's a little bit time consuming. I certainly don't think you want to buy survey responses. So I'm just going to suggest that you click on Web Link Collector. That will just generate a web link, and then you can copy and paste that into a mass email. You can post it on your social networks. You can send that link out however it is that you want to do so. Once results coming in, you can start clicking on the Analyze Results tab. It will automatically tabulate responses for you, so it'll show you how many people clicked, strongly agree, disagree, things of that nature. That's a topic best left for another time, however, so I am going to wrap it up there. Certainly, if you have any questions about how to do any of the things that I showed you in this video, get in touch with me by email, and I'll do my best to explain them further. So thank you very much for watching.